this out because I would spend hours and hours talking to my parents every day. I trusted them 100%. And I literally just looked at him and said, what's wrong with me? Why don't I like this? Why do I think Dale is really, really cute? And that was the first day that I ended up in the emergency room. My dad flipped over, crazy flip, because abomination had gotten into his house. How in the world how did this happen? I was this good Christian boy, what in the world had happened to me? They went through a lot more. After about 7 times to the emergency room, my mother was like, okay, beating it out of him is not quite working. Let's try another approach. And so they tried, thanks to the Mormon Church, electroshock therapy on me. It was one of the most excruciating experiences I've ever had in my life. Terrified. Every night I would lay in my bed praying to God to change me back because I didn't want to die.
Being in high school, I even thought that I just cared a little bit more for my girls that were friends. And then fast forwarding through time and getting into college, I began to pick up on things just a little bit more. But the most disturbing thing for me was that this new discovery of myself didn't really align with the strict religious traditions that I had been raised in. So for the next year, I spent my time really diving into the Protestant Christian religion, just completely terrified out of my mind. After all, this couldn't be happening to me. So for the next year or so, I went to a 4.5-hour church service on Sunday, Bible studies on Wednesdays, religious studies on the weekends, and spent my Saturdays with a gospel choir. In the mornings, I would wake up and pray and then repeat my pattern in the evening. And as my quest for the religious right, my prayers began to become more and more frantic. Please, God, this can't be happening to me. Please take these sinful thoughts from my mind.
My orientation has nothing to do truly with my faith. My faith is between me and God.
I've been working tirelessly on Hate Crimes Prevention Act. The Matthew Shepard Hate Crimes Prevention Act was pivotal in my life because I have been a victim of a hate crime. I wanted protection for LGBT citizens.
Let's raise some money for the Matthew Shepard Foundation.
How do we live so that life flourishes on the planet? How do we help each other? So Susan calls it sustainable relationships. How do we help each other so that we don't hurt each other and then break our relationships? So they just seem really integrated to me, and it feels like a really hopeful, holistic approach to life and working.
But change is gonna come. Yeah, change is gonna come. Change will not come if we wait for someone or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change. Little white boy, nothing wrong with me. Outside I am normal, inside I have a disease. They hung me on a fence and left me to bleed 'cause of who I love and who loves me. But change is gonna come. Yeah, change is gonna come.
Make the world a better place, but really just make K-State a better place first. It's the idea of thinking globally and acting locally. What can we do as members of K-State and student leaders on this campus so that people down the road that inherit us, whether it's our children or just the next generation of K-Staters, can live a little bit better and have a better education.
Activists may not meet every week in a church.
They may be different from you and me, but they all have a purpose.
What is your purpose?
What concerns you enough that you had to stand up?
What are you doing?
Why are you all still sitting here?
Do something!
Do something!
Do something! Do something! Do something!
Do something!